Alright guys, welcome to this unplanned video that Chris and I did. As you're going to see in the channel update video, if you get to the end of the video, Chris and I decided randomly to just talk about how shit Battleground 2017... By the way, I'm Owen Finch, by the way, and I'm here with...
Chris, guess if you didn't know by now.
Yeah, we decided at the end to just shit on Battleground 2017. So, we decided to just make its own video out of it, where we're just gonna do a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on, each retro that we've done so far. We are gonna do, like, a legitimate, probably, like, ranking or, like, tier list. Probably not tier list, because then Chris won't show up, but, like, of all the retros we've done, how we feel about them. But this will just be a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, and none of this, thumbs in the middle. You have to give, like, a legitimate thumbs up, thumbs down about how you feel about these retros.
What if it's thumbs in the middle facing up, or thumbs in the middle facing down?
No, but it's gotta be all the way up or all the way down.
What if it's sideways or triangular?
We'll see. But yeah, but we're just gonna go through all the list of retros that are on the playlist and talk about we're just gonna give a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, rating towards them. This will be fun, but let's just do it real quick. Let's start. We kind of started with this, but we'll answer it again. WrestleMania 22. I'll kind of break it down to what's on that show, because that's why we made this its own video, because then we realized we could have made it its own video. The biggest things on the show is John Cena Triple H for the WWE Championship. John Cena's first WrestleMania main event. Obviously, this is the infamous, because I'm pretty sure it's like the first real time where the fans started turning on Cena. He was starting to get booed and everything like that. The biggest thing, too, is CM Punk is like one of the gangsters that's like there doing his entrance, which is pretty cool. The triple threat match between Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton for the world title, that's very short. The Money in the Bank match where RVD wins, the biggest thing in the match is when Ric Flair takes the big superplex spot from off the ladder, and it's just insane. And the best match of the show, Edge versus Mick Foley in the hardcore match that puts Edge on this is basically the match that put Edge on the map as like a main eventer. Because if you remember, I don't think he probably was still would have been a main eventer, but this is in that stint where he won the belt and then lost it really quickly, and then Mick Foley had to kind of get people to do this match and see it. There's some other fun things on the show. Chris Benoit and JBL have a good match for the U.S. belts. Mickie James versus Trish Stratus for the women's title was the only actual good women's match on the show, I think, that was pretty credible until WrestleMania 32, and then you have some bad things on the show, like the Boogeyman faces Booker T and Shamel, and that's a really bad match. And then you have Kane and Carlito. No, I almost said Kane and Carlito versus Big Show and Chris Masters for the tag belts. Reverse that, it's Kane and Big Show versus Carlito and Chris Masters. I bet you like the first match better, though. Kane and Carlito versus Big Show and Chris Masters.
They decided to say, fuck it, let's just do this match instead.
I'm gonna give this Mania a thumbs up. I think it's a good Mania. I like the main event. Oh, and I forgot the biggest match: Shawn Michaels versus Vince, where Shawn beats the crap out of him. So I'm gonna give this Mania a thumbs. I'm gonna give this retro a thumbs up. I think it's a good Mania. What do you think?
I think it's a good Mania, and that WrestleMania was the first real hint of DX coming back, also too.
Yeah. Last Mania that wasn't in a stadium, too. Because it was...
Yeah.
So that's pretty significant. Then we have Backlash 2006. This is the triple threat match with John Cena, Edge, and Triple H. This has that wild match where just Vince went wild. Because 2006 was a weird year for Vince, where it's Shawn Michaels and God versus the McMahons. And God leaves Shawn Michaels in the middle of the match. Which is pretty pathetic. And somehow Shawn is still a devout Christian, even though God abandoned him. doing the match. And I'm pretty sure there's some wild backstage segments with like Vince, like really believing in God and all that type of stuff. Like he went all in on this storyline. There's some good matches too. There's Carlito versus Chris Masters in the opener. LVD faces Shelton Benjamin in the Money in the Bank IC title winner take all match. I think I think Mickey faces Trish, but I think Trish had gotten hurt before then. I'm also just gonna do all these off the top of my head, see what I can remember. I remember the Wild match. It was Kane versus the Big Show. I don't know if you remember this. And then, like, the match ends because, like, the lights went out and, like, kept saying May 19th. And, like, the match just ended for no reason, I think. It was, like, a no contest. It was really weird. But I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. I think the main event's very good. RVD Shelton's very good. I like Carlito versus Chris Masters. As weird as the Shawn Michaels McMahon's storyline was, the match ended up being good. So I'm going to give Backlash 06 a thumbs up. What would you give it?
I give it a thumbs up too. I thought it was a good show, despite the weirdness to it. It's still a good show.
And then we have the Great American Bash 2006. Do you remember the wild behind the scenes around this show? I don't know if you remember this or not.
No, I don't.
This is the liver enzymes. Like I think 2 matches had to be like canceled because everyone had like liver enzymes or whatever. I'm pretty sure Bobby Lashley had to get pulled out of his match. And the Great Khali couldn't be in the first Punjabi prison match because he had liver enzymes. So they had to replace him with the Big Show. This show I think is a little underrated because I think it's mainly remembered for the really crappy Punjabi prison match and that story. Yep. But I actually think there's some underrated gems. The Pitbulls face London and Kendrick for the tag titles, which is really solid. Finlay and William Regal have a good U.S. title match, which is a shame because this was kind of around that era where like the fans really didn't care about them. If this had happened like in today's wrestling, I think it would be better. But like no one really wanted to see them wrestle, so the crowd was very quiet during that match. Matt Hardy faced Gregory Helms for some reason, not the cruiserweight title. And then Rey Mysterio faces Ken Booker when Ken Booker gets his coronation as world champion. But yeah, this show is mainly remembered by the crappy Punjabi prison match and the liver enzyme story and everything like that. But I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I remember the undercard being pretty good for this show. And the main event's good. So I'm gonna give Great American Bash 2006 a thumbs up. What would you give it?
I give it a thumbs up too. I thought it was a good show.
It'll be interesting to see what you say for this. ECW One Night Stand. No. Very much messed that up. It's WWE ECW December to Dismember 2006.
Thumbs down. Terrible show.
Do you remember what's on the show? Because I don't even think I even tell you.
Awful show. Terrible. Thumbs down.
Should I run it through it, or do I even need to?
Just awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. It basically killed the single branded like pay-per-views for the most part, and killed ECW as a brand. So, yeah, this got Paul.
It was their only pay-per-view.
This show got Paul Heyman fired, right? Technically.
Technically, yeah. He was already in ice that was melting away. He was on that last little block of ice.
Yeah. Then we have WrestleMania 19. Do you remember what's on this show? I feel like this is pretty memorable.
It was Cena's first appearance.
Yep.
He came out rapping to cardboard cutouts. You had the American Badass for the very last time at WrestleMania.
Well, technically, because he was technically the American Badass during the Boneyard match. Technically.
But yeah, like real runs.
Yeah.
Like, so the end of the American Badass character, besides the Boneyard match for ending its a couple year run, which was popular with some and not popular with others.
And Chris is looking right at me.
Yeah, and my brother hated it too. But it was the end of that. That was his last WrestleMania on a bicycle, on a motorcycle. And the main event, which was Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle in a 5-star match, even though near the end of the match, Brock almost fucking paralyzed himself.
Yeah.
A really super fucking underrated gem of a match with Jericho and HBK.
Crazy in that main event too, by the way, because Angle was like hooked.
He broke his neck.
Yeah, and still wrestled.
Yeah, that's the first of 400 times he broke his neck in the span of like 3 years.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure too. I might be misremembering. Didn't they have to give him like? That might be doing his Olympics, but I'm pretty sure he had to go in to get like shots so he could even do this match at WrestleMania and all that type of stuff. Like
it was both. It was the Olympics, yes, and also too, yeah. But we had it was the cat fight match, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
With the Miller Lite girls or whatever the fuck that was. What else was on there? I forget what else was on there, but it's a thumbs up.
Yeah, Hogan Vince.
Hogan Vince. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you mentioned the title match. Ray and Matt Hardy have a good match for the Cruiserweight title.
That's the opener, too. That's really a good way to start the show.
The tag title match is pretty solid. I think it's like Rhino and Chris Benoit versus Team Angle versus, I think it's Los Guerreros. And then the only bad things on the show is Undertaker's match, which was with A-Train and Big Show. Which could have been worse, considering the fact that, yeah. And then, even though the match ended up good, but Triple H taking 40 years to pin Booker Booker T after the pedigree and everything like that. That's pretty bad too. But yeah, thumbs up. I think, honestly, unpopular opinion, I think it's better than Mania 17. I think it's a really good Mania throughout. We'll get to that.
Both have pictures.
Yeah. And then...
why you think it's better than 17? I also, too, think it's better than 17.
But very close.
It's in my top 3
for
WrestleMania. The two of the 17 and 19.
If I had to say top 3, it would probably be 1 is 40, 2 is 19, and 3 is 17.
Yeah. I think 40 for me, night 2 of 40, was the one of the best WrestleManias I've seen.
Yeah. I like night 1 too, though. You know.
Night 1 was really good. Night 1 and night 2 of 40 were again spectacular. Night 2 though has the nostalgia in it.
Yeah. And then we have the next thing on the list, No Mercy 2008. This is a pretty underrated gem of a pay-per-view. That has that classic ladder match between Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels. Triple H.
That's after Jericho turned heel, right?
Yeah, and he was doing the suit gimmick and everything like that. Like,
after he slammed his face into the Geritron 5000 or whatever it was.
You have a really good match between Jeff Hardy and Triple H for the title. This was the start of like Jeff Hardy's journey to becoming WWE champion. Undertaker
become a main player.
Yeah, Undertaker and Big Show have a really good match on the show. Matt Hardy and Mount Henry have actually a good match for the ECW championship. I'm pretty sure Beth Phoenix and Candice Michelle had a solid match for the women's title. The only thing that I can think of that's overall bad on this show is Rey Mysterio and Kane have a match that ends in DQ where Kane just decides to just get himself disqualified for no reason. That was really weird. But yeah, I'm going to give the show a thumbs up. I think the strength of the main event really makes the show and everything.
I give it a thumbs up too. But the show, it's a gem. You know, you have the first suit and tie heel Jericho coming out of this, where people legitimately were worried that HBK might not have eyesight, which was in part like a genius storyline by WWE because Jericho was super over as a babyface, but the top of the market and the babyface side was really heavy, very heavy babyface at the time. So turning Jericho into this, monotone heel that wore suits and was arrogant and was a jackass, like it turned out to be a career renaissance for him, and it was that match was excellent.
I feel like kind of watching his run back, like because he came back in 07. I don't think I feel like the break the walls gimmick and like the Ayatollah Guacamole, I don't think it hit as well when he came back. Like obviously he did well the first month or so, but I feel like
because he had the short hair and it just didn't really feel like Jericho.
So like doing this with this gimmick, and again it extended his rest. That's just the masterfulness of Chris Jericho, like where he can just extend his wrestling career, and just stay fresh and everything like that type of thing. Because he does this gimmick, like you said, like the rest of his second run, pretty much.
He does it from like 08 to when he turns babyface again.
Yeah.
12, I think. 2012.
Anything else you want to say about? But yeah, I think this, like you said, a thumbs up.
I think I said my case.
And then we have Royal Rumble 2003. Do you remember what happens on this show? Because this is a weird show.
Ben Ware wins it.
No, that's 2004. This is 03.
4. 3 was Brock, right?
Yep.
That's the one thing that sticks out still to this day is the stage is really cool. Like how it's like the entrance ramp is kind of off center.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like probably one of the more underrated sets. The Royal Rumble of 3 was awesome.
Did John ever tell you this was John's first experience to wrestling? Because I think someone that he knew watched it, so he went to this show. Obviously, nothing came of it until like years later, but this was the first wrestling show John watched, and he probably didn't even know what the hell he was watching, which is insane.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
But this is a weird show in the sense that like the highs are really high, but the lows are really lows. Because like you have the stuff with Brock where he beats the Big Show to qualify, and then he wins the Rumble, which is pretty cool. The Rumble's really good. I remember they do that fake out because this was the start of the feud where I think like it's like Jericho and Shawn Michaels are supposed to start the Rumble, but like Christian dresses up as him instead, and Jericho like attacks him from behind and like eliminates him, and then like Shawn comes back later and eliminates Jericho. Notice the highlights of each shows, of each of like the last 3 shows we've covered have been like a Jericho Shawn Michaels like scented thing. And then but yeah, you have an amazing WWE title match between Kurt Angle wrestling some random ghost or whatever. It's really random,
Ghost man.
And then the lows are really low, though. We have Triple H versus Scott Steiner in that gem of a match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Brutal. that followed up a feud where that followed up a segment where Scott Steiner got Batista bombed nearly out of his pants.
And then I'm pretty sure that I don't know if the match happened on the show, but we got some type of like segment on match with like, wasn't it like Tori Wilson and like Dawn Marie? Like it was over like that. It was.
Yes.
I think they had a match on this show. I think, and it was really bad.
Because it was during that feud where she was banging Tori's dad.
I am going to give this a thumbs up just because I think the WWE title match is amazing. I like the Rumble. But yeah, the lows are definitely low, but I think this is a thumbs up.
It's a thumbs up.
And then we have Bad Blood, In Your House Bad Blood 1997. Has my favorite match of all time in it with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker in the first Hell in a Cell match. There's other things that's good in the show. Owen Hart, I think, beat Farouk for the IC title. And this was really funny because it's not really about the match. I think Austin, it just being like really comedic and just a douche ringside. And I remember at the end of the match, he has to like hand the belt to the winner, and Owen Hart wins it, and he like just throws the belt into the ring and like doesn't even like hand it to him, which is really funny. The Nation of Domination beat a couple of baby faces in a solid match. Um, and we had a tag match. I think it was Bret Hart and the British Bulldog versus Vader and what's the? It was not Max Moon. What was the name of the Patriot? That's right. It was the
Patriot. Yeah. I
Um,
was gonna say that. Sounds like I think it was the Patriot was in that match.
it's like a flag match, but you could also win the match by pinfall submission. So I'm gonna give the show a thumbs up. I think this is actually a better show than you remember it. The thing that's sad about the show, I'm pretty sure this was around the time that Brian Pillman had died right before this pay per view. I'm pretty sure because he's mentioned a lot I don't know if he died, but they mentioned he was supposed to face Goldust on this show, but I think he died. I don't think he died, but he went into the hospital or something because of all the issues that he had. So I'm pretty sure this was the end of Brian.
I think they were supposed to have the match on that show, and I'm pretty sure he died in the lead up to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to give the show a thumbs up. What would you give Bad Blood in Your House 1997?
I'll give it a thumbs up. It's that realistically, nothing can make me give this show a thumbs down just because of that Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. So, Ken of the Ring 1995 is easily a thumbs down. It's a terrible show. The only good match on the show is Bret Hart versus Joey the Kid Lawler. That's a 3-star match, if that. But everything else on this show sucks.
That's a foot match?
Yes, it was the Kiss My Foot match.
God.
But yeah, the King of the Ring tournament sucks. Mabel wins it for some reason, even though Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker win the tournament, they didn't win it. Shawn Michaels, it was cut from the network feed at the time, but Shawn Michaels gave away the fact that he wasn't going to win because he went and wore the crown, and the crown was too big for his head or whatever, so he basically gave away that he wasn't going to win. And then, I'm pretty sure there's a really bad tag match. It's Diesel and somebody else versus Psycho Sid and Tatanka, who was randomly a heel for some reason. I forget who Diesel teamed with though. And then we had it's just a really bad show. I remember the funniest thing that comes out of this show is I'm pretty sure the crowd starts chanting for ECW, and Vince went, "Listen to this crowd," and they were chanting for ECW, so Vince had to immediately change the subject, which is really funny. But this show's an easily thumbs down. Probably the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen.
It could be a thumbs up, but it's a thumbs down because it is fucking abysmal.
Yeah.
This might be one of the worst WWF/WWE pay-per-views in the company's history. In this long fucking ass history of this fucking company, going back to when Vince Sr. promoted the goddamn thing in the 40s. The fucking worst pay-per-view in the history of this fucking promotion. It is so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Fucking atrocious.
Then we have Extreme Rules 2014. Now, this is going to be a thumbs up, but I want to see if you remember. There's an infamously bad thing. It was a big thing we talked about on the channel. We've decided to do the retro. Do you remember it's a big bad thing. We would always talk about it every Aftershock / Massasoit Wrestling Corner every week. Do you remember the infamous bad thing that happens on this show?
What was it? I don't.
Should I give you a hint?
Yes.
It's a cage match that somebody could have won. Not the cage match you think, but it's a steel cage match where someone could have escaped, but they were too afraid to escape.
I don't remember now. It's been so long.
It's the Bray Wyatt John Cena steel cage match. Do you remember that match?
Oh my fucking god. Yes. Yes. Oh my fucking god. John could have won that goddamn match had he walked down the fucking stairs and kicked that fucking kid's face in. He could have literally walked down the stairs, taken a left, and he would have won the goddamn match.
I feel like the finish was really... But I remember before that, the match was so... The whole match really is Cena can't get out of the cage because of the Wyatt family. It's basically a 3-on-1 cage match. Cena still almost wins the cage match, but they can't because of that type of thing. It's really ridiculous.
He couldn't win because a small child was in his way.
And that's unfortunate because...
And all that space.
Yep.
All of it. So much space.
Unfortunately...
I hate that match.
Unfortunately, that's the only bad match on the show, because everything else on the show pretty much is really good. Daniel Bryan and Kane have a really good Extreme Rules match for the world title. That's the first Shield Evolution match. Bad News Barrett wins the IC title from Big E, which is pretty good. Except no one really cared about Big E at the time, because this was when he was like the bland babyface before he joined up with the New Day. RVD, Cesaro, and Jack Swagger have a really solid triple threat elimination match. I guess it's kind of a negative on the show, but it served a purpose. This is when Rusev wrestled. I almost said it was Kofi and Xavier, but it was Xavier Woods and R-Truth. Remember, in a handicap match where he took out I think it was Woods and then faced Truth, or it was one or the other. It was really weird. And then Paige faced Tamina in a solid Divas title match. But no one really cared about it at the time, because this was kind of when the Divas weren't really seen as top priority for the company. It was really random. But I'm giving the show a thumbs up, even though that cage match, probably should put it to a thumbs down. But everything else other than that cage match is really good.
I give it a thumbs up. If everything else didn't happen and that cage match happened, thumbs down. Thumbs up. Cage match still sucked. Johnson just taken a step to the left, taken a step to the right, and he would have won the fucking match. But instead, he let the little kid scare him back into the ring.
Yep. Then we have Survivor Series 2002. I'm giving this an easy thumbs up. This has the first Elimination Chamber, the triple threat tag match with Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus Los Guerreros. Basically the SmackDown 6 all in one match. I'm pretty sure Billy Kidman faced Jamie Noble in a Cruiserweight title match, and it was really good. I think he won. Or I might be misremembering that. What was the the opener was the tables match. It was the Hardys and well, no, it wasn't the Hardys. It was Jeff.
No, it was Jeff and the Dudleys, Bubba and Spike, because they were teaming up because Devon was on SmackDown against 3 Minute Warning.
Yeah,
Rico and Rosie and Jamal.
And that's where the Dudleys reunite. The actual Dudleys reunite type of thing. Because Devon comes out and helps them win.
Because Rosie and Jamal got eliminated, and it came down to Rico and Bubba, and they didn't leave ringside, and they beating up Bubba, and then Devon came out. Devon cleared house, and they 3D'd Rico through the table.
And then you had Scott Steiner return to WWE, where it's come from
my favorite fucking line from that was he leans through the ropes, and I don't know if he said it into the microphone or if he said it to give me a fucking mic.
And it was cut from the network.
Super loud. You can hear it so crisp.
And it's
been taken out of everything after that. The WWE Network had it taken out. It was taken out of Peacock. Every fucking time.
Do you think they'll take it out of Netflix when they add?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think by now it's pretty much gone. You have to go on YouTube and find it. It's wicked funny. Give me a fucking mic.
The only
super loud. You can hear it so crisp.
The only bad thing on this show really is the Paul Heyman heel turn on Brock, which really didn't make any sense. He aligned himself with the Big Show. That just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, because at that time, first of all, it was a heel versus heel match. Because Brock was he faced that night when Heyman turned on it, but he was in the process of turning into a face, but wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah,
that's what looking back at that, it's so confusing because it's heel versus heel. It was so weird.
And Shawn Michaels' poopy pants was really bad on this show too.
The show was fucking shit brown attire.
So I'm giving the show an easy thumbs up. It's an excellent show.
Oh yeah. I'm giving an easy thumbs up for the fact that Rico almost threw himself off the top rope because Jeff wasn't there yet. That was it cracks me up. But and then in the chamber match too, RVD hits the 5-star and fucking crushes Triple H's fucking windpipe.
And he wrestled the rest of them. He wrestled the rest of the match. Like
he wrestled the next. I think he said like it was the next hour or half an hour.
Yeah.
Like holy shit. Like, and you can see it too when you watch it back. He lands right on his throat.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh my god. Like that was.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2007. I think a thumbs up. It's my first Royal Rumble. This is the one that Undertaker wins, and Undertaker and Shawn Michaels have that incredible final two. The Royal Rumble match is really good.
That was the last time Shawn Michaels came out to the DX theme too, right?
Yeah. And then the only shitty thing about the Rumble was ECW got like jobbed out during the presentation. I think Sandman got eliminated really quickly. Dreamer really didn't get much of a performance, but like Sabu got a good performance because he got that table bump by Kane and everything like that. And then, but other things good on the show. We had Eminem versus the Hardys. This was right after like Joey Mercury broke his face after that ladder bump by Jeff Hardy.
That was disgusting. It fucked up and put him on a pill addiction for he had a drug habit after that for quite a long time.
Batista versus Mr. Kennedy for the world title is good. John Cena versus Umaga in the Last Man Standing match is incredible. The only bad thing on the show was Bobby Lashley versus Test for the ECW championship, where Test just decides to lose by countout, not win the championship. That didn't really make any sense. But I'm giving the show a thumbs up. I think it's
Don't want to win.
Yeah. I'm giving the show a thumbs up. I think it's a good Rumble.
Yeah, thumbs up. And it's in like leading up to it too, like a Shawn, like they kept like the DX thing up for a while with Shawn, which was like really weird because they knew that Triple H wasn't going to be back.
Yeah.
So, and then after the Rumble, he went back to his HBK theme again.
Yeah.
The sexy boy theme.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2001. Pretty excellent show here. You have the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian for the tag titles. This was kind of setting up that, the TLC 2 or 1. No, I guess it'd be 2 because, one was somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho in the ladder match for the IC title. The Royal Rumble 2001 is often regarded as like the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time. Which, I'm not sure if I feel that way. I think it's definitely top 5. If I was to list my top 5 Rumbles right now, it would probably be the 2018 Men's Rumble, 2023 Men's Rumble, the first one, Cody wins. Then I would probably say the 2007 Rumble, and then probably the 01 Rumble, and we would probably have to... Maybe the 92 Rumble would probably be in there somewhere. But great Rumble here, though. This is when we had basically everything. The hardcore half. Drew Carey trying to pay off Kane.
That was funny.
Kane breaking the record. And then Austin getting his third Royal Rumble win. And then I like Kurt Angle versus Triple H. I just remember that match being really weird because this was like 2 big heroes in the company. And... it was really weird how they like laid out that program and everything like that type of thing. But it was still a good match. So I'm going to give the Royal Rumble 1 a thumbs up. I think it's a good Rumble.
I give it a thumbs up too. I love the Rumble match itself was like really good. I wouldn't say it's near the top, but it's definitely top 10 for me. But that's just a really good show. Really, really good Rumble. It was like near the end of like the Austin era.
Yeah. Then Royal Rumble 2005. Do you remember? There's a big thing that happens on this show that's very memorable. Do you remember?
Oh yeah. This is when Batista and Cena both go over the top rope and eliminate themselves. They weren't supposed to do that. And then Vince comes out and tears not one, but both of his quads, being very angry as he's running to the ring. And coming down to the ring, he slams the suit jacket down, goes to slide in the ring. Boop, they're gone.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting there. yelling at them, and it's the fucking funniest visual you ever see. It's Vince just sitting in the ring yelling at them because he cannot stand up.
It's the most memorable like Royal Rumble like winning ever. Because the Rumble match is pretty good. And then other things that happened on the show that's pretty good. Shawn Michaels faces Edge in the opener, which is a really good opener. That was kind of the start of Edge's rise to the main event status. And then Triple H beats Randy Orton, and like Edge's babyface won pretty much.
Yeah,
A good match, but not a good match for babyface Randy Orton. And then
not a very yeah.
Undertaker faces Heinrich in kind of whatever casket match. This is where the Brothers of Destruction were united. And this was pretty much the end of the Heinrich experiment. Thank God. And then we have a pretty solid triple threat match with JBL, Kurt Angle, and Big Show. I remember that match being like really short. But I'll give Royal Rumble 5 a thumbs up for Vince Squads.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up also too.
And then we have Heat Wave Sunday Night Heat 1999 Heat Wave. There's a big match that happens on the show. I'm pretty sure you remember what it is.
Heat Wave.
Yeah, 1999. During the Super Bowl.
Was that that was The Rock and Mankind.
Yeah,
at halftime. That was amazing. It's one of the best matches ever. And it came at a really in a really interesting time too, to come at the halftime at the biggest fucking show of at the show of all shows for the NFL, and it gave them a massive rating.
Yeah, I remember we
extremely popular.
I remember we did this retro too because they brought it back because it's it was around the time they brought it back like in 2019, and NXT got the showcase that time. Obviously they didn't do it like on they did it on the network, but it was still pretty cool that they did that. But I remember I didn't really realize until I watched the show, like it's an actual show too, there's like a whole show, I'm pretty sure I remember they did a promo segment where China was a heel with the corporation. I remember I said on that show, wait, but didn't Triple H just end up turning heel anyways and was aligned with them? It was kind of one of those Russo, because this was Vince Russo swerves where they swerved us there. I don't remember much else of this show really, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because the biggest sell was the empty arena match, and that ended up working out very well.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's one of those memorable matches in the history of WWE.
Yeah. Then we have WrestleMania 21, kind of a new era for WWE, where they were really breaking into the ruthless aggression era. They had to make a lot of new top stars. But a really underrated WrestleMania. The first half of the show is really fantastic. Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. The first ever Money in the Bank match is incredible. Undertaker, Randy Orton, and the first real streak match since that's the first time the streak was really brought up. You have some incredible stuff on this show, the Austin's Piper's Pit segment with Roddy Piper. I'm pretty sure that gets interrupted by Carlito, and then you have Hulk Hogan coming out to beat up Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. Show kind of teeters off a little bit towards the end. You have the sumo match between Big Show and Aki Bono, and then John Cena's coronation, unfortunately. Isn't really that good of a match. Kind of fitting though, because when he wins his first world title, it was kind of a shitty match, and then when he won his most recent world title, it was also a shitty match. So very fitting, I guess, for John Cena. And then Batista Triple H is just way too long of a match, but isn't terrible. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I think this probably would be one of the best top 3 WrestleManias of all time. It's probably top 5, but this would be easy top 3 had the last half of the show been as strong as the beginning. But the undercard of the show is really fantastic.
I give it a thumbs up too. I thought the show was very good. Really get 2 coronations between John Cena and Batista as the top faces of the company, and then Batista goes to SmackDown in that last second surprise after Cena gets drafted to Raw. And they kind of became the faces of the Raw and SmackDown brand for the next quite a few years. Then you have that was the first Money in the Bank match. The Chris Jericho concept, fantastic match. Loved it. Just the whole show was just a really great show.
Then we have we did the Fight in My Family documentary as a retro. I think because the movie was actually coming out in real life, so we did it for a retro. Good documentary. I'll give it a thumbs up. You get to see the look and lives of Saraya and her brother. Is it Zack Knight? I forget his name off the top of my head, but it was like Zack Zodiac or something.
Zack Zodiac was.
And you felt bad for him and everything like that. I'll give it a thumbs up. It's a good documentary.
Yeah, it was at the time. It was definitely really good, and it definitely profiled her, and Saraya liked it, so yeah, it was good.
Then we have WrestleMania 28. A good WrestleMania here. We have the 3 main matches with CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the title, which was a really good Mania match. Triple H's Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee in the end of an era match that didn't end anything since they both still wrestled for like another few years.
Yeah.
Excellent. Rock versus Cena match 1. I know some people have said the second match is better, but I think just nobody really cared. This had like the more once in a lifetime feel to it, so I like this match. And Rock winning was very surprising. And you have some other good things on the show. Cody Rhodes and Big Show have a good match for the IC title. But the weak moments of this show was the Team Teddy versus Team Johnny match that nobody cared about it and embarrassed Zack Ryder for no reason. 18 seconds, which ended up working out in hindsight, but that kind of sucked on the show. Randy Orton and Kane have a pretty mediocre WrestleMania match, and then there's a Divas match. I think it's like Eve and Beth Phoenix versus Maria Menounos and Kelly that no one really wanted to see. But I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I think the strength of the main event matches are pretty strong, and I like the Cody Big Show match, and then 18 seconds ended up working on the long one for Daniel Bryan, because without that, I don't think he gets that fanfare that he gets. So I'm giving WrestleMania 28 a thumbs up. What would you give WrestleMania 28?
I give WrestleMania. I give it a thumb. I do give it a thumbs up. Like, it really propelled Daniel Bryan, and I also think the lead up to that Team Teddy, Team Johnny match. I think Johnny Ease forgot what team he was on because he introduced the Miz on his team. He was like, "Welcome to Team Teddy, Johnny." I was like, "Okay," so I forget. So he forgets what team he is.
Do you remember? It would have been funny if Miz actually just joined Team Teddy because of that.
I was like, "Wow!" So they're one team now because it's Team Teddy, Johnny. I love that every time I see that it pops up. I'll see it. I'll fucking die.
Yeah, I don't understand how you make a mistake like that.
It's your fucking team.
But you give WrestleMania 28 a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Up.
Then we have WrestleMania 23, another thumbs up show right here. You have the excellent Money in the Bank ladder match. The main event between John Cena and Shawn Michaels. The world title match between Batista and Undertaker. Not really looked at fondly, but the Battle of the Billionaires is pretty fun with, Trump and McMahon, with Bobby Lashley as Trump's representative and Umaga as Vince's. Obviously, that's not really fun to think about nowadays, but at the time it was fine. And then Chris Benoit versus MVP is a really good U.S. title match. Chris Benoit's last WrestleMania, unfortunately. The lows of this show, I would probably say, is the Lumberjill match between Melina and Ashley Massaro that only goes like 3 minutes. Great Khali versus Kane. So good they did it like 4 more times on pay-per-view. That's how good that match was.
It couldn't wait.
And then the ECW originals versus like the ECW like new breed was like really whatever. That was just whatever. Like they didn't really need to be on the show. And then yeah, there's a really funny segment on the show where it was like crime time and like Eugene and like everyone just kind of like comes in and like just dances around. It's really funny and I love it. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I think it's a good Mania. First stadium WrestleMania show too.
Yeah. I give it a thumbs up too.
Oh, also the bad thing of the show was the placement of the world title match. Batista and Taker should have maybe not main evented because a lot of people think it should have main evented, but this was when Batista like was putting on really bad performances because he had just come back from his injury, but at least semi main evented type of thing. So
yeah, not fully main event. Yeah, I get that.
And Chris, the whole reason we're even doing this video today, Battleground 2017. Why don't you kind of talk about?
No.
Why don't you talk about the excellence of this show?
No. You fucking conned me into it.
I didn't
Son
say.
of a bitch.
Yeah, talk about it. You know, let's talk about the.
You fucking said we were gonna. This show fucking sucks. Awful fucking show. Terrible fucking show. Pathetic fucking show. Awful fucking show. Just a pathetic show all around. Fucking abysmal. All these fucking words can be said to determine that this show fucking sucked.
Are you even gonna are you gonna tell people what's on this show so they can, you know?
You have a shitty Punjabi prison match, and everything else is shit. Just shit.
There's something good on this show.
The opening match. That's it. Other than that, good luck trying to watch this show because you're fucking stupid if you like it.
What do you give it?
A thumbs fucking down. Obviously. Fuck this show.
I agree with you. You know, yeah, you're so upset right now. You know, just really upset. You know,
fucking pathetically bad.
You're usually pretty positive towards like WWE, like always. This is like the only real negative time you're like negative towards WWE is this show.
Just a horrifically awful, fucking pathetically bad show.
Then we have the next show, you know, from an awfully bad show to a wonderful show where we have ECW One Night Stand 2000. Oh, I didn't say my rating for, I guess, Battleground 2017.
It was so bad you didn't even want to fucking say it.
It's the thumbs down, easily thumbs down, you know? But yeah, ECW One Night Stand 2005. I think this is an excellent show. A good tribute to ECW. Everything on this show rules to, you know, Jericho versus Lance Storm to get to reunite in a match together. Masaru Tanaka versus Mike Awesome. I probably got that name wrong, but that's excellent. The main event with Sandman and Tommy Dreamer versus the Dudleys. Was that the Dudleys like last match? Like, because I remember they were gone like shortly after this.
Yep. They weren't even under contract.
Which is insane. Paul Heyman's shoot promo on basically the WWE. LVD's shoot promo. The Invaders shoot promo where JBL was just drunk, so he was just saying a lot of things that didn't really make sense, which is really funny. The brawl at the end where JBL concusses and like busts open the Blue Meanie. We have Sabu versus, I think it's Sabu versus Rhino, which is really fun. It's an excellent tribute to ECW. I'm giving this a massive thumbs up.
Massive thumbs up. A great way to it's a great way to represent ECW by putting their top talent out there. Great show.
And then tribute. And then we have NXT from June 20th, 2012. This is the first NXT episode at Full Sail, run by Triple H, because the game show version of NXT ended, and then FCW came to an end, so they made it NXT. Good show here. You know, kind of showcasing like a lot of the talent that were going to come in, like Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins eventually, and You know, you have an excellent main event with Tyson Kidd and Michael McGillicuddy, which is really good. Um, and I don't remember much else of this show, but it, kind of a pretty influential show because it leads to the not the immediate like success of NXT, but you get to see like what Triple H can be like booking shows from week to week, and I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I remember this show being pretty good.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It was a good show.
Um,
really like a good sign of things to come for that brand.
yeah, definitely. Then we have a Clash of the Champion show from 1997. This show's pretty good. Um, the main event is I think it's Randy Savage and Scott Hall versus DDP and somebody else for the WCW tag titles, which is pretty solid. You have this really good segment that gets really good out of nowhere. It's like this cast from like Dinner in a Movie. Like, you think this segment's gonna be one of those bad celebrity segments, but then they end up like infiltrating like the NWO, and like Randy Savage comes out, and like it's actually really excellent, and everything like that. This is like the start of Stan, so I'm gonna give this show a thumbs up. I don't remember much about it, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. So,
and then we have SmackDown from August 9th, 2001. This is the end of this is when Rhino spears like gores Jericho through the Titantron, and leads to the end of that set where we get the fifth set.
I remember doing that.
The biggest memorable thing on the show is Jericho does the Judas. I almost said the Judas effect. What the hell is that?
It's the Judas.
But no, Jericho.
The Judas are.
But Jericho does the Judas effect on the show, and this is kind of like around that time where he like started using that move, and he does it like as just a traditional move like on the show. You have I'm pretty sure there's a main event tag match. I think it's like Austin and like someone on the Alliance side of things versus I think it's Kurt and like Taker or something. I'm pretty sure this is like we had a bunch of segments backstage where Perry Saturn like missed Moppy or something. He went in the dumpster to get him, was really wicked upset.
What a fucking freak!
I'm gonna give it a
missing his mom.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I remember this show being pretty good. So
yeah,
we'll give it.
It was good.
Then we have Bad Blood 2004, a pretty good show right here. We have Shelton Benjamin versus Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Benoit and Edge face Law Resistance for the World Tag Team titles. That stupidly ends in disqualification. And then Chris Benoit faces Kane for the world title. That was fine. This is why Chris Benoit's world title win was kind of think starting to like be very middle of the road. Not really anything memorable about it type of thing. Well, because we can't remember it now because it technically didn't happen. So
yeah, it just didn't happen anyway. So I don't
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you have a really good main event with Triple H and Shawn Michaels to end their feud in the Hell in a Cell match that's admittedly pretty long. I'm going to give Bad Blood 04 a thumbs up. I think it's a good show.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Then we have All In.
Ooh.
A good show right here. This was the first non-WWE like pay-per-view in a while that like, got really good buy rates and sold out a venue. But you have some excellent stuff on here. You have Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis for the NWA World's title, where Cody wins the NWA World title, which is really excellent. Stephen Amell faces Christopher Daniels in a really good celebrity match. Hangman Adam Page faces Joey Janela in a really good I think it's like a lights out match essentially. Just ignore what happens after that with Joey Ryan. That wasn't good either. I'm pretty sure SCU faced the Briscoes in the opener. That was really good. This was Kenny Omega versus Penta. And then obviously Kenny wins, and then Jericho shows up at the end and attacks Kenny. And that's that's the first time he worked a non-WWE show in the US, which ends up kind of setting up AEW. We have Okada versus Marty Scurll in a really good match. Some of the negatives come. I'm pretty sure Jay Lethal faced. Was it? I think it was Flip Gordon for the ROH World Title.
Because that's a thing that was going on at the time.
Yeah, and I remember he wins the Battle Royal to like get on the show because they were doing a storyline where Cody Rhodes didn't want to like book him, and that's how he got like. I'm pretty sure he won the Battle Royal like as like in a mask, and then he unmasked himself and it was him, and like Brandy Rhodes accompanies him to like ringside and everything like that. And the main event's very rushed. I'm pretty sure it's the Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio Jr., Ray Phoenix, and some other luchador. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Bandito. I don't think it was Bandito, but that it was Bandito or someone.
It was what the fuck was it?
Is it Flamito?
Yes, that's who it was.
I just threw that name out there actually. So I don't even think that was a real person, but yeah. I know that match was very rushed because they like were running low on the pay-per-view time, and that's good. I'm gonna give all that a thumbs up because without this, I don't think AEW really gets like the success that it gets, and it kind of gets like another wrestling company out there, and everything like that. So I'm giving All In a thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up too. It was a really it was really a sign of things to come.
I don't know if it's good things for you, but it's a sign of things to come. So, then we have NXT Takeover War Games from 2018. Really good War Games here. You have the men's War Games match, which is the Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne, Rickovich, who was good at the time, but still, we got to get that name out there anytime we can. I think it was War Raiders and it wasn't Riddle because he had just signed. Was it? I think it was just 4-4. They didn't do 5-on-5 at the time. I think it was just 4-4.
Yeah.
And then this is when Matt Riddle I think beats Cassius Ohno in like 3 seconds.
Seconds.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black have an excellent match. Velveteen Dream and Tommaso Ciampa have a really good match for the NXT title. The only more thing that's like not particular. The women's title match is even good. It's Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane in the 2 out of 3 falls match. Kind of weird though. A lot of these guys on this show we don't really like very much now. Like we don't really like Matt Riddle nowadays. We don't really like. Velveteen Dream, I'm not really sure how people feel about because some things have come out about him. But we don't really like Ricochet nowadays. I'm pretty sure we don't really like Bobby Fish nowadays. So I'm going to give the show a thumbs up. I think an excellent takeover. That Johnny Gargano Aleister Black match is incredible. Like one of the best matches I had seen that year.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's still a thumbs up. It's still a great show.
Then we have,
regardless of how we now.
Then we have WrestleMania 30. You want to talk about this one? This one's an excellent WrestleMania.
Yeah. It was really good. This was the night that Daniel Bryan was crowned the WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the main event. Outstanding. I couldn't he had to win to get in too, because at the time people were pissed off because it's Daniel Bryan was our guy, and we wanted him to be in the main event, but the Authority wouldn't let him. So he needed to win to get in.
Yeah.
And he ended up beating Triple H to be added to the title match at the end of the show. And Triple H is working on his arm because he had that storyline, like arm injury going into the match.
Which he does every match. He does a lot in his matches.
Yup. But he just got his ass kicked like every week. And then he wins the match. Triple H just beats the piss out of him after the match. And they're like speculating that might take him out of the title match at the end of the night and whatnot. Spoiler, it didn't. The Shield versus the New Age Outlaws was a okay match. It's against the Kane was in it too because it was the Shield against the Authority.
The
match was okay.
The start of the babyface run.
Yeah, that was still at the it was still at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think they had like
Uh,
turned fully yet.
and then Cesaro winning the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal was awesome because he tossed up Big Show with the headlock to yank him over the top rope. That was really cool. And then Cena beat Bray Wyatt. They had some really nice callbacks later on, but yeah, probably not the right thing to do at that time. But what can you do?
Yeah, good match.
Yeah, good match still. Lots of story in that too.
Yeah.
Brock versus Taker, where Brock broke the streak and fucking concussed Taker in the process.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have won. And then the Vicky Guerrero Invitational, which was bad. And then the main event where Daniel Bryan won and was crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Overall, I give this show a thumbs up because this was an amazing show that really set up Daniel Bryan to be a mega babyface in the company.
A big thing too, because I know you just looked at the card. You also have
I had to remind myself for a second.
You also have the incredible opening like segment with The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan on this show too.
Where Hogan thought he was in the Silver Dome.
Yeah, an incredible WrestleMania. Remember that list we made earlier? This would probably be like number 5 in top 5 manias. A really excellent WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is a great WrestleMania.
First Mania of the network era too.
Yep.
And like, well, not really just the network era, just like the streaming, I guess, era.
Streaming era.
And a lot of people didn't know how that was going to go because like the network was not. That was not a thing. It was not working out at that time. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was not. Everyone was mad.
Yeah. So. But yeah, thumbs up. And then we have NXT Takeover All Evolution. I didn't do this retro with. I'm pretty sure you did this retro with like Casey and James. I'm pretty sure. I
don't even remember.
This is an excellent show. This is the debut of Kevin Owens where he breaks CJ Parker's nose. No, CJ Parker breaks his nose actually.
I was gonna say, wow, that's it'd be interesting if he did that.
And then at the main event, you have that incredible match with Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, where Sami Zayn wins the belt, and then Kevin Owens turns on him afterwards. Really excellent. Other great things on the show. I'm pretty sure Sasha Banks faces Charlotte for the women's title. The Ascent.
No, that was the triple threat was after.
Yeah, this is the 1-on-1. So Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, and then you have the Lucha Dragons versus the Vaudevillains for the tag titles. This is pretty good. And then you have the first match of Finn Balor. Well, I don't know if it was his first match in WWE, but it was his first big match in WWE where he teamed up with Hideo Itami to face the Ascension. And this was the first time he came out as the Demon in WWE and everything like that. So I'm going to give the show a thumbs up. Really excellent takeover. It's mainly remembered. I feel like, too, the biggest thing to remember about this takeover is you could see the start of, like, the golden era of, like, NXT coming in. With, like, Finn Balor was coming in at this time. Hideo Itami. Adrian Neville was really good. He was kind of ending this NXT run. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You were starting to see, like, the real NXT, like, start to shine through around this time.
Yeah, this is, like, the beginning of, like, the boom period for NXT.
I'll give it a thumbs up. Will you give it a thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
So then this one, I didn't do this retro. I think it's Halloween Havoc 91 or 93. I'm just gonna say thumbs down because I'm pretty sure what I'm told in the show is this has the really bad electrified cage match with like Abdullah the Butcher or something. So I'll just give it a thumbs down just because of that.
Yep.
I don't know anything else that happens on the show, but I haven't seen this show, so I'll just say thumbs down due to word of mouth and everything like that. What would you give it?
Thumbs down. Just a terrible show. Fucking awful, abysmal show.
I don't know anything else that happens on the show, so
you're better off for it.
And then we have again. I didn't do this retro ROH Final Battle 2017. This show's really excellent. You have Heyman Page versus, I think it's Frankie Kazarian in a strap match. Cody wins the ROH title. That's like his first big ROH, and I think he would like just started. He had just joined Bullet Club. This like was the start of the indie boom period with Cody. He beat Christopher Daniels for the belt. We have an excellent triple threat tag match with War Machine, Best Friends, and the Young Bucks for the ROH tag titles. Jay Lethal faces, I think is it Elias Sampson? No, Silas Young. Silas Young. I always not
Elias.
To be fair, that would have been weird because
Elias before he started wrestling.
And then I'm pretty sure the Kingdom face like Ultimo Guerrero or something, like in some type of Lucha Rules match. I forget who it was though. That match was good. And then I'm just trying to remember. Kushida and Marty Scurll have a really good ROH TV title match. And then, yeah, I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I think this is a really probably my favorite ROH pay per view I've ever seen, which isn't saying much because I've only seen like I think like 3 of them. So, but this was ROH at like this might be like ROH at like its best before like it went downhill. It's like so I give it a thumbs up. What would you give it?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Did I give it something? I gave Halloween Havoc something. So
up, I guess, because I didn't see it. I have no idea.
And then we have SummerSlam 2003. Kind of a mixed bag show. The goods is the excellent rematch between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. There's a really good 4-way match with Tajiri, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Rhino for the U.S. title. And then there's a really good World Tag Team title match between the Dudleys and La Resistance. The bad of this show, while the Elimination Chamber match is technically good, the whole Goldberg thing, like losing because of the Slughammer, was really dumb and really messed up his WWE career. At least in the first stages of it. Stone Cold Steve Austin. No. Shane McMahon faces Eric Bischoff in a really bad match. Kane faces RVD in a good match, but it was really not much of a justice for Kane. I'm going to go thumbs up, though. I think the Kurt Angle Brock Lesnar match really carries it, and the 4-way for the U.S. title is really good. I remember there's another really good match on the show, but I'm going to go thumbs up. Because the Chamber match is also good, too, until they mess it up at the end. What would you give?
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up, too. It's definitely good. It could have been better, but yeah.
SummerSlam 2000 is an excellent show. This has the first TLC match with Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys versus the Hardys. The tag team IC title match with Chyna and Eddie Guerrero versus Lance Storm and Trish Stratus. The hardcore title match between Steve Blackman and Shane McMahon, with Shane McMahon takes that big fall off the the staging. I'm pretty sure there's a 2 out of 3 falls match with Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit on the show that's excellent. The main event triple threat with Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Triple H is really good. The only more bad things on the show is like Jerry the Kid Lawler versus Taz, where Taz loses for some weird reason, and then Undertaker and Kane when the match just gets thrown out. But I'm going to go thumbs up. This is an excellent show.
Yeah, it's a great show. That was the first time ever that Kane was unmasked.
And you weren't scared?
No, wasn't terrified because I was a young boy.
And you
not really a knowing boy at the time.
And you didn't have to see his face.
Of what my torture would be.
Then we had, this is Raw from October 9th, 2017. This is where the Shield reunites the first time. Where they take out Miz TV. I almost said Miz TV, no, but they take out the Miz.
They took out Miz TV. They took out the set.
Well, they actually did take out the set, though, too. They took out the Miz. I think that's like the only good thing that happens on the show. I think everything else kind of sucks.
Yeah, because the Shield is overarching inside of it.
But everything else, I'm pretty sure
they're in it from beginning to end.
Yeah, everything else sucks on the show. I think we had like a really lame like Elias Matt Hardy match where Elias won for some reason.
No, because it was Braun Strowman, Matt Hardy.
Where Braun squashed him, I think.
Yeah, and then the Shield came out and saved Matt after the match because Braun was trying to take him like he was his trophy.
Oh, that's a big. And then this is when Enzo loses the cruiserweight belt in a really bad match. That didn't, there's another real bad. There's a real bad thing on the show. This is when like Bray Wyatt like became Sister Abigail. Like he was in the dregs and like all that type of stuff.
Oh, that was horrible.
I'm giving the show a thumbs down because I remember the show that's the only good thing. I just remember the show being really bad.
A thumbs down. It's a thumbs freaking down all the freaking way.
I think I remember another thing that happens. I'm pretty sure like Elias fought like Apollo Crews and Elias like won. It was a really bland match that like nobody cared about. Like nobody cared about it.
No one did.
Then we have Halloween Havoc, 1997. Kind of a mixed bag of a show. There's that. I'm pretty sure this is this show with a really bad steel cage match with Rowdy Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan, where I think Piper wins by choking out Hogan, and then like all the NWO like showed up, and like we got like the masked Stins, but like none of them did anything, and I'm pretty sure like a fan like jumps like the barricade and tries to climb into the cage, and we don't even know if that was like supposed to happen or not. Like the NWO like beat them up.
Oh yeah.
There's a and then like there's a really good last man. I think it's Last Man Standing, but they don't call it Last Man Standing, between DDP and Randy Savage. That was really good. That has the excellent Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero match for the Cruiserweight title, like the most famous WCW match. So I don't know what to grade this show because the real shit's like really memorable, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because the things I remember are better, like the DDP Randy Savage Last Man Standing match and the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio match is fantastic. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up based off that.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. Yep.
Then we have AEW Full Gear 2019. This show is excellent. You have the excellent Lights Out match that got AEW fined between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. The Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho match where if Cody lost, he could never challenge for the belt again, and MJF screws him over. The really good Young Bucks, Santana and Ortiz tag match in the opener. I'm pretty sure there's a pretty solid triple threat tag match. It's like SCU, the Lucha Bros, and some other team in there. I don't remember the other team. Shawn Spears and Joey Janela have a really random good match. And then I remember too, doesn't the Rock and Roll Express, doesn't Ricky Morton do the Canadian Destroyer like in the match too?
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to remember. I was trying to think like what's all the matches. This is at the time too when AEW's pay-per-views would be like really short. Like I say short, but like nowadays when they have a pay-per-view, they go on for like ever, and go on. They're so long they go on the span of like two WWE events nowadays. That's how long they are, type of thing. But I'm gonna give Full Gear a thumbs up. It's an excellent show. It's like when AEW was really catching fire and doing some really great things. And I remember Heyman, Adam Page, and Pac have an excellent match on this show. So I'm gonna give Full Gear 2019 a thumbs up. It's really excellent.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up too. Great show. Like it's WWE AEW was on fire at the time.
Then we have Survivor Series 2003. Good show here. You have that excellent Team Bischoff versus Team. I almost just did it. I almost said Team Teddy, but no, it's Team Austin.
Team Teddy, Johnny.
But yeah, this is where Shawn Michaels pulls out that incredible 3-on-1 performance where he's down 3-on-1 versus Jericho, Christian, and Randy Orton, and he nearly pulls it out at the end, but Batista screws him over. The first match, it's Cena's first match as a babyface after he had just turned face on SmackDown, and him and it's Team Angle versus Team Brock, and Team Brock's got all the big guys in it, and like Team Cena has all like basically the good talent in that match. And Cena and Benoit are the sole survivors. And It's the first time I think Cena picked up the Big Show for the FU too. Actually,
Yep.
You have a good tag title match between it's not the APA, but what's the name of that tag team? Oh, was it the Bashams versus Los Guerreros? That's pretty good. Um, Undertaker, Vince McMahon in the Buried Alive match. Kane and Shane McMahon in the ambulance match. Uh, it's got some low points. I don't think Goldberg versus Triple H is a particularly good world title match. But I'm gonna give Survivor Series 03 a thumbs up. I actually like this show quite a bit.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up. The show was really good. It was the end of Steve Austin as kind of like an on-screen character, which it kind of was disappointing because it could have gone on a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, I think the show was really good.
Then we have Survivor Series 2013, bad show. This is where Big Show fought Randy Orton in the main event, and like no one cared about it. I was there for this show. Everybody just chanted anything else, but for the two competitors in the match sucked. Big Show loses because he got distracted by like the Authority, which was really bad. They had Big E face Curtis Axel for the IC title, and it wasn't even Big E's crowning moment. It was just a random rematch that sucked. Ryback Mark Henry sucks. You have the Tailboat Total Divas versus Real Divas match that basically was like every Divas Survivor Series match where like they would just get hit with a move and lose. Cena Del Rio's boring. The only good matches on the show was like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, which is good, but like not Survivor Series level good. And this is where Roman Reigns has like that outstanding performance where he, basically eliminates like everyone on the Survivor Series like team. But I'm gonna give the show a thumbs down. It sucks.
Yes, thumbs down sucks. Bad.
Then we have Fully Loaded.
Lots of bad. No good.
Then we have a Fully Loaded 2000. This show's really good. This has The Rock versus Chris Benoit, where I think if The Rock got DQ'd, he lost the title or something, but that didn't happen. You have the excellent Last Man Standing match between Chris Jericho and Triple H. The excellent cage match with Lance Storm and Rikishi, where I think Rikishi does the splash off the cage, and somehow he didn't win the belt. I don't know how that happens, but okay. And then you have some bad things, like Undertaker faces Kurt Angle and like jobs him out for no reason. That was really weird. And then Edge and Christian faced the APA or the Acolytes. I don't know what they were at the time. And have a good match there. I'm giving the show a thumbs up. Really good, fully loaded show right here.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up. The show was awesome.
Then we have SmackDown from April 27th, 2007. The first wrestling show I ever watched in full. The main event's a no-holds-barred match between Undertaker and Batista versus Mr. Kennedy and Finlay. There's a really weird tag match with Kane and the Boogeyman versus William Regal, and I think, is it Dave Taylor? That's the guy he was teaming with, like, towards the end.
Yeah.
I like that tag team. I don't know why that ever really did anything with them. And then I'm pretty sure Chris Benoit faces MVP and like leaves the match and loses by count out. And then there's a memorable segment backstage. It was like the start of them having Vicky Guerrero come into the picture because this is when Teddy Long was dating like Crystal, and she had like mentioned that like she could put in Vicky Guerrero to like Teddy could put in Vicky Guerrero to be like an assistant, and obviously that didn't really end well for Teddy. He had his heart attack, and then well, there's a funny line in it where Teddy Long mentioned they went to like London and all that stuff. They were like taking all these tours and everything like that. And John and I even said like, Teddy Long didn't pay any money for these tours and everything that they like. I want to give this show a thumbs up. It's my first wrestling show, and I think this was a pretty good introduction for me to get into wrestling. You probably don't even remember this show, but what would you give?
I don't.
You gonna give it something?
Up.
Hey, if this show wasn't good, I wouldn't be watching wrestling today. This show had to do something, right? Right?
It had to do something.
Maybe it did something wrong. Maybe I'm the worst wrestling fan that's ever like existed the face of the earth.
Yes.
Then Then we have Backlash 2000. Excellent pay-per-view this is. This has that main event between The Rock and Triple H where basically everything's stacked up against The Rock, and then Austin comes in at the end and evens the odds. It's so... That's the best pop I think a wrestler has ever gotten, like, coming out with Austin, because this was, like, the first time, like, he had been, like, seen in the arena. Like, I think since his, like, his neck injury and everything like that.
Yes.
You have...
Because he was announced as being at ringside for the Rock and being in his corner, but he didn't. He wasn't there.
And like they played up to.
They built up the entire show around it.
Yeah. And then we have an excellent light heavyweight championship match between Billy Kidman and then Scotty 2 Hotty. A good hardcore like match with like the Hardys, the Hollies, Taz. I think Steve Blackman was in it. I almost said Spike Blackman. Like that's not anybody.
Spike Blackman. At your service, Spike Blackman.
There's a pretty good tag match with I think it's Big Boss Man and who do you use to team with? Bo Buchanan. I don't think it was Bo Buchanan at the time, but it was Bo Buchanan versus the APA. The only bad match on the show really is like the Dudleys versus I think TNA. Which is really funny to say that, but it was like Test and Albert, and like it's not really a bad match. It's kind of an unsatisfying match, but yeah, I like the show. I like this show. Between excellent pay per view. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up. It's a really excellent show.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2008. Excellent show. This is where John Cena comes back like super early after his torn triceps and has probably the best Royal Rumble like surprise appearance ever. And you have a good Rumble here too with Taker and Shawn Michaels started it off. Mick Foley's last Royal Rumble for a while. I was gonna say his last Rumble, but I forgot he was in the 2012 Rumble. And then the only weird thing about the Rumble is like somehow Finlay got like disqualified for like showing up. I don't even know how he got disqualified, but he got disqualified in the Rumble match. I don't understand how that happens. But other good things on the show, you have Edge versus Rey Mysterio for the world title. You have Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy for the WWE title, and then the career threatening match between Ric Flair and MVP. The match between Jericho and JBL is even good, except the finish kind of sucks. But I'm giving the show a thumbs up. It's really good.
Yeah, it gets a thumbs up.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2000. Kind of a weird show this is. I do like it. You have the Hardys versus the Dudleys in their table match. And then you have Triple H versus Cactus Jack in the hardcore match. The Rumble's really not that great, though. The Rock wins it, but not much really happens in the Rumble. They had a really weird triple threat match between like Chyna, Chris Jericho, and Hardcore Holly. That wasn't really anything worth writing home about. And then you have the bikini contest that like Mae Young wins. I'll give it a thumbs up though. I do like the two the Hardys match and Triple H and Cactus Jack, and I do enjoy the bikini contest in a twisted type of way because it's really funny how they set that up. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, gets a thumbs up.
Then we have the 2011 Royal Rumble. This is where they did the 40-man Rumble, and wasn't that great. There was just a bunch of jobbers in the match, and the match just kind of acts, the match kind of goes a little long. The one guy won, it was Del Rio, and it was really boring. But the Rumble has some good moments, like the Nexus and Coors Brawl, the Nexus story. This is where Booker T and Diesel return. Other good things, you have Edge versus Dolph Ziggler in a good world title match, but then there's some bad things on the show, like the Miz versus Randy Orton's WWE title match is really boring, and then we have like a really boring 4-way Divas title match between like Lay Cool, Eve Torres, and Natalia. So I'm gonna go with thumbs down. This I could do without this Rumble. I was there, so I guess that's cool. But I'm gonna go with thumbs down.
Down.
Then we have New Year's Revolution 2005. This is a really weird show because it's plagued by injuries. Lita versus Trish Stratus. Lita gets hurt, so the match has to end abruptly. Then we have I'm pretty sure there was a world tag title match. I think it was Eugene and William Regal versus Christian and Tyson Tonko, and Eugene got hurt, so that match was weird. It was like 2 in a row too. But then the show kind of picks up a little bit. We have a really weird match where it's like Muhammad Hassan versus Jerry Lawler with like no commentary because the commentators are like there, and like Jerry Lawler's in the match and JR's in his corner, so we didn't get any commentary. We had Kane versus Snitsky in a decent match. We have that really weird IC title match. Remember, it was like Shelton Benjamin versus Maven, and like Maven lost like 3 times in a row. It was like really weird. And then we have the Elimination Chamber match where Triple H just decided to win back his belt. I probably rated the show pretty good, but I'm gonna give the show a thumbs down. The show's just kind of a waste of time. Like, there's really no reason to have a Elimination Chamber match. Just have Triple H win his belt back. That's stupid. So this show's a thumbs down.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And then we have New Year's Revolution 2006. This show's kind of okay. We have the Elimination Chamber match that Cena wins, where Carlito and Chris Masters work over a plan to take everybody out, and then Cena just gets it out at the end, and this has the first Money in the Bank cash in. Then you have Big Show versus Triple H, which is pretty good. Remember this is when Big Show had like the big cast on his hand, and it was like really cartoony and really funny. You have Edge versus Ric Flair for the IC title, where Edge gets himself disqualified. You have Jerry Lawler beat Gregory Helms for some reason. I don't know why that happened. Trish Stratus versus Mickie James is a good women's title match. You have the debut of Shelton's Mama on this show. Remember that? Shelton's Mama was on this show. I'm pretty sure he wrestles Viscera, and this is when like Viscera was doing that gimmick when he would like hump his opponent, and Shelton really got a raw end of the year on that one because he really went all in on Shelton Benjamin on that one.
Oh yeah, he did.
I'm gonna give this a thumbs up though. I like the main event with like Edge cashing in, and I do like the Big Show Triple H match, and I like the Edge Ric Flair match. So I'm giving New Year's Revolution 06 a thumbs up.
Yeah, it gets a thumbs up.
First WrestleMania, I think there's really no need to explain that. This is a thumbs up, and there's no debate.
Yep, thumb up.
If this show
up,
if you give this a thumbs down, you don't know wrestling. So Chris, do you know wrestling?
No.
So I guess you gotta give this a thumbs down then. So
yeah, I don't know it. Don't know what that is.
Then we have WrestleMania 15. This is a bad WrestleMania. The only good thing on the show is like Austin versus Rock in the main event, but everything else is just really weird. Like they flip-flopped and put like Billy Gunn in like the hardcore title match and had like Road Dogg in the IC title match. It just made everything so weird. This is where Undertaker faces Big Boss Man in a really bad Hell in a Cell match. That's so bad when WWE like did like a big DVD of their Hell in a Cell matches. They left off this match. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's how good it is. Maybe it's so good that you
it could be good. Could be a hidden gem.
It has the greatness where Undertaker just hangs the Big Boss Man. That's fun, you know. It's fun. And then what else is bad on this show? I'm pretty sure there's like a really bad women's title match. It's like Sable versus like some other woman that like was really bad. They had like Big Show face Mankind and get disqualified, which was really stupid. Just a bad Mania. This is a thumbs down, not a good Mania.
Thumbs down. Bad.
Another bad WrestleMania. WrestleMania 2000. This is the only good things on the show was the Triangle Ladder match and like the Euro Continental Triple Threat, where it was like Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. I actually forgot who he was. That's how WWE's doing a good job of that, I guess. Everything else on the show pretty much sucks. The 4-way elimination match sucks with like with a McMahon in every corner, and like it just is laid out really bad and just. You have a really weird, like, 6-man tag where it's, like, Kane and Rikishi versus X-Pac and, like, the rest of the people. It's just not good. You have a really weird match where it's, like, just every match on the show was, like, a tag match. It just didn't belong in WrestleMania. This WrestleMania is just not good. I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Down.
So this might be where we disagree. WrestleMania 25. I actually think this is a good Mania. A lot of people kind of crap on this Mania. Um, and it has some bad things on it, like Santina Morello winning the women's Miss WrestleMania pageant, which is just like, what the hell was
Fuck
that?
yeah.
um, and then the main event with Triple H's Randy Orton is really bad, but I actually think it has some good things on the show. With I like the Money in the Bank match is good. Undertaker Shawn Michaels is like an all time great WrestleMania match. I like JBL versus Rey Mysterio, which Rey Mysterio wins in like 21 seconds. That's really funny. And then the world title match between John Cena, Big Show, and Edge is good for what it is. It just had to follow Shawn Michaels, Triple H. No, sorry, it had to follow Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, which isn't good. Um, and then I like Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. It's just extremely short, so I'm gonna give this WrestleMania a thumbs up. Oh, and also, doesn't Johnny Cash or whatever Kid Rock like do like a really long WrestleMania performance that like affects the rest of the show? But I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I actually think it's an underrated. I think this Mania gets a little bit too much hate.
Down.
Wow,
Not a good one.
that's fair. What do you hate about this Mania specifically?
It's just too much nonsense. Like Santino winning the Miss WrestleMania contest, like the Money in the Bank matches is The Chris Jericho beating up legends gimmick was not good.
I forgot about that.
That short. Rey Mysterio beating JBL into retirement was just kind of funny. The Taker Michaels match was great. The triple threat was and the main event wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's fair. Then we have WrestleMania 24. I think this is another good Mania.
How many more do we have?
A little bit more. But yeah, you have Undertaker versus Edge in the main event, which is good. Ric Flair's retirement match, at least it was supposed to be. Didn't end up working out that way. The Money in the Bank match, the Belfast Brawl between Finlay and JBL was good. The triple threat match between Orton, Cena, and Triple H. The only bad thing on the show was the really short ECW championship match with like Kane and Chavo Guerrero, where Kane jobs him out, and then like the Divas Bunny Bowl match or whatever that was, with Maria. Well, the lights went out. But I'm giving WrestleMania 24 a thumbs up. I like WrestleMania 24.
Yeah, thumbs up.
I forgot to put it in there, but SummerSlam 2002. That show's excellent. Really good from top to bottom. Not a bad match on that show. You have Brock's coronation, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, where Shawn comes out of retirement, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio in the opener. Just everything on that show is really excellent.
Yeah, everything was great. Thumbs up.
I like WrestleMania 10 too. That has the really good opener with Bret Hart and Owen Hart, and then the main event where Bret Hart wins the belt back, even though the finish of that wasn't the best. You have Randy Savage versus Crush in a Falls Count Anywhere match, but it's not actually a Falls Count Anywhere match because they laid out the match differently. Mabel didn't have a bad match on this show. That's always good. Does have some bad moments. I'm pretty sure there's a women's title match that nobody cared about that blinked and missed it. But I'm gonna give WrestleMania 10 obviously the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon is really good. So I'm giving WrestleMania 10 a thumbs up.
Gets a thumbs up. The opener is incredible. The ladder match is incredible. This is a great show.
Then we have WrestleMania 26. Kind of a weird Mania. Undertaker Shawn Michaels is really good. I like John Cena Batista. But then everything else, they just felt like they were making bad decisions. This is where Jack Swagger wins the Money in the Bank, where he took forever to unhook the briefcase. Rey Mysterio and CM Punk is really short. We have Randy Orton versus the Legacy members, which is just kind of whatever. Show Miz versus R-Truth and John Morrison in a really short tag title match that blink and you missed it. Chris, this has that excellent Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon match. The match that you really want to see. And then, Yeah, but then you have Triple H versus Sheamus, which Triple H won for some reason. I'm giving WrestleMania 26 a thumbs down. I think the WWE just made a lot of bad decisions with the card structure and who went over, and then the Bret Hart Vince McMahon match just really takes the nail on the cake. So WrestleMania 26 gets a thumbs down.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs down.
Then we have WrestleMania 18. A decent Mania. This has Rock Hogan, which is excellent. Undertaker, Ric Flair, and the Hardcore match is good. Kurt Angle versus Kane have a good Mania match. Does have some lowlights. The Triple H Chris Jericho match obviously really couldn't get much of anything because it had to follow Rock Hogan. There's a women's triple threat that no one cared about at all for the same reason. They do a lot of hardcore title shenanigans that really isn't anything worth writing home about. But I might say, but I do like RVD versus Regal for the IC title. So I might say WrestleMania 18 just barely gets a thumbs up because of Rock Hogan.
Yes, thumbs up.
And then the first NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, just an excellent show. This is Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross for the NXT title. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in the unsanctioned match. The triple threat tag title match with Legado del Fantasma, MSK, and Grizzled Young Veterans, I think. Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. The women's tag title match with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus, I think it's Shotzi and Ember Moon. Just a really solid NXT takeover all around. Pete Dunne versus... No, sorry, not Pete Dunne. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa for the United Kingdom title. Just an excellent takeover. Santos versus Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight title in the ladder match. Just excellent show. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I think it's excellent.
Excellent show. Thumbs up.
Then we have the WrestleMania 31 Raw that took place afterwards. Also an excellent show. This is, the first, time John Cena does his U.S. Open Challenge where he faces Dean Ambrose. This is where Brock Lesnar goes on his rampage and just takes out the commentary team, which is absolutely awesome. Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan have a tremendous IC title match. And this is where Sheamus returns, where he looks stupid. Because he did look stupid. Neville has his call up. The Lucha Dragons get called up. This is where I think the New Day actually turned heel on this show for the most part. And then it's not as good as the end because it kind of peters off. But this is a really good Raw after WrestleMania. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. It's a really great show.
Then we have the first ever WWE draft. It's a good show, but I'm going to give it a thumbs down mainly for the fact that they really messed up this draft because they basically had to go back and redo the draft and fix it because they failed the draft here. They split up the Dudleys for some reason, so I'm going to give the draft episode a thumbs down.
Yeah. Just not it was very poor.
Then we have the Superstar Shakeup, the one that we went to that we talked about. We literally talked about this. We remember this show like it was yesterday, pretty much. This is where Kevin Owens shows up. And then Sami Zayn shows up and Kevin Owens freaks out, which was funny. We have an incredible U.S. title number one contenders match with AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin. We have the woman. They did the whole State of the Woman segment where Charlotte Flair showed up. We couldn't see Charlotte Flair, but she was there. This is where we had a really good SmackDown tag title match. I think it was American Alpha versus the Usos. And everyone wanted Gallows and Anderson to show up afterwards, but then it was the Shining Stars, and no one wanted that.
Been better.
This is where...
Just as good.
Hey, remember Test Gender? This is where you chanted Test Gender with Vince, and he listened to you the next week. So
He did.
He faced Mojo Rawley on this show and lost because of Gronk, and we got to see Gronk leave during the middle of the show, and it got really awkward. And then I think the best part of the show isn't even what happens on the SmackDown part of it. It's the fact that we got to see an empty arena match basically during the entire episode of 205 Live, pretty much. You know, that's always fun. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up though, just overall for the experience when we went to this show, which was a really good experience. What would you give this?
I give it a fucking thumbs up because it's a great experience.
Then we have Backlash 2017. This is where Jinder got tested. You know, he won the WWE Championship on this show, and it was terrible. The only good thing of that match was when Randy Orton did the back suplex to one of the Sin Brothers, and he went too hard. He had that face where ooh, went way too hard right there.
Ooh, yeah.
Everything else on the show kind of isn't that great. The Usos have a SmackDown tag title match with Breezango, where the whole match is just Tyler Breeze trying on win attire, and it's just really not that entertaining. Shinsuke Nakamura has a really underwhelming pay-per-view performance. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles has a really dumb count-out finish. I'm pretty sure, remember the Welcoming Committee have a match on this show. It's and they beat Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Naomi for some reason. I don't know why that happened. So this is an easy. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan have a really bad pay-per-view match. This is a thumbs down. This is not good.
Yes. Thumbs down, not good.
And then the show where John Cena got drafted. That happens. There's an ECW invasion angle on this show. But then there's a really bad segment where Lita dumps Kane's Ren down the toilet. So, but I'm still gonna give it a thumbs up. But it's good.
Thummies up.
Then we have Backlash 1999. A really good show. This is the main evented by Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. This has that segment at the end where Undertaker kidnaps Stephanie McMahon, which is really funny. You have a really good 6-man with the Acolytes versus the Brood. Or no, it's the Brood. The Brood versus the Acolytes. And then you have a really good hardcore title match between Hardcore Holly and I think Al Snow. You guys didn't agree with me at the time, but we had a really boring Undertaker Ken Shamrock match, which I just thought was insanely boring, but you guys didn't agree with it. So, I'm going to give it a thumbs up, though. Really good pay-per-view this is.
Thumbs up.
Then we have Backlash 2004. Good show. This has Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack in the hardcore match, the WrestleMania Triple Threat main event. Ric Flair versus Shelton Benjamin. The only bad things on the show is Tajiri losing a coach for some reason, and I think there's a tag match that takes place. It's La Resistance versus some other people. But I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Really good show right here.
Yep, thumbs up.
Battleground 2013 is really shit. The main event between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan ends with the Big Show knocking out Daniel Bryan. Curtis Axel and R-Truth have a bad match. RVD and Del Rio have a boring hardcore match. CM Punk has a bad match with Ryback. And then the only good match on the show is the Rhodes brothers getting the jobs back from the Shield. And we get to see Cody Rhodes and Goldust team up for the first time. So I'm going to give this show a thumbs down because everything else sucks on it.
Yep, thumbs down. The only good thing was that match. So
then we have TNA Unbreakable 2005. Excellent show this is. This is main evented by AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe in the triple threat match that put TNA on the map. Other things that are good on this show is Jeff Hardy versus Robert Roode. The NWA title match between Raven and Rhino is excellent. I'm pretty sure we have 3 Live Crew. They have a really good 6-man on this show. This show's just really excellent from top to bottom. You have Austin Aries versus Roderick Strong. I know that's not really a good name to hear nowadays, but they ended up having a good match. So I'm giving this show a thumbs up. It's really excellent.
It was a great show.
Thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
Then we have AEW Double or Nothing 2019, AEW's first event ever. Really excellent. Really put AEW on the map. You have Jericho versus Omega, and then afterwards Moxley shows up. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in an excellent AAA tag team title match. Really funny, the Lucha Bros and AAA essentially aren't even around AEW's anymore. So,
Nope.
Cody versus Dustin's really excellent. You have a really good opener with SCU versus I think it's like Shima and two other guys that he was like teaming with at the time. The four-way, the triple threat match with Awesome Khan, Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, and Nyla Rose. It's a four-way. Was really good. The Casino Gauntlet's really good. Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian on the buy-in's really good. Bret Hart's appearance is really good, even though he doesn't really want to talk about that, I don't think. Just an excellent show. Really, really good first show for AEW. I'm giving it a massive thumbs up.
Massive thumbs up.
Then we had Night of Champions 2012. Good show. CM Punk faces Cena, which ended a draw. A really good four-way match with Cody Rhodes, The Miz, Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio. Team Hell No forms on this show with Daniel Bryan and Kane winning the tag titles, which is awesome. Cesaro faces Zack Ryder in a good U.S. title match. The only bad things, Randy and Dolph Ziggler's good. The only bad match on the show that no one really cared about were like Eve versus Layla for the Divas title, and then Randy Orton, Sheamus versus Del Rio, which was happening like for like the 40,000th time. But I'm gonna give the show a thumbs up. I was also there live for this show, which helps.
Yep, thumbs up.
Then we have Payback 2020. Really weird show because this is like during the pandemic. But this is where Roman Reigns had that won the historic world title for the first time, which was done masterfully where he signed the contract late and just basically picked up the strap after Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt destroyed each other. You have a good women's tag title match between the Boston Hug Connection versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin's pretty good. Big E versus Sheamus is pretty good. Keith Lee versus Randy Orton is good. A good show, which is really surprising because most of the people on the show we either don't like nowadays or just are gone. And this show only had like a week to build up because they only built it up for like a week. But I'm gonna say thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Then we have Royal Rumble 1998. This is where Austin won the Rumble for the first time. This is and a really good Rumble match. This is where Mick Foley's in the match like 3 times. This is where Shawn Michaels broke his back in that casket match that ended up being really good. The New Age Outlaws face the Road Warriors in a solid tag title match. And then Vader faced Goldust in a weird match because he wasn't like Goldust. He was like the artist formerly known as Goldust. I'm giving it a thumbs up. This is where Mike Tyson accidentally says Cold Stone Steve Austin, which was really funny too.
Cold Stone, baby.
And he did everything backwards apparently. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
This gets a thumbs up too.
Then we have Money in the Bank 2011. Good show. This is where CM Punk faces John Cena in that 5-star caliber match. Daniel Bryan wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, which was really good. The Raw Money in the Bank match is good too. This is where Mark Henry starts to break out as a main eventer with his win against the Big Show. The only bad match on the show was Kelly versus one of the Bellas for the Divas title. I think it was Brie. But this show is still excellent. Just pretend that match didn't happen.
Yeah.
Then we have Judgment Day 2000. This has the Iron Man match between The Rock and Triple H where The Undertaker stupidly shows up as the American Badass. And accidentally...
Nah, dude. Cry about it.
But you have other good things on the show.
Cry harder. Your tears are not coming down your face hard enough.
But you have other good things on this show. You have a tables match with the Dudleys versus the New Age Outlaws. I'm pretty sure Chris Benoit faced Jericho on this show for the IC title. Just some other good things on the show. I'm going to give this show a thumbs up. I remember liking it.
Yeah, it gets a thumbs up. It's a really good show.
Now we got another bad show here. The first episode of Raw Underground, baby.
Thumbs down.
This show was really bad. It's not just that. Do you remember this was when Retribution showed up for the first time and they lit off that like the generator or whatever like outside and you couldn't. It was the whole show was They had the lights flickering because of that. They had like a really bad KO segment with like the Iconics or something. This show just sucks.
It's horrific.
The only good things on the show is I remember Drew McIntyre cuts like a really good passionate promo on Randy Orton, and then Dominic Mysterio was actually a good son to his dad and stuck up for his dad against Seth Rollins, which was awesome. So
Yeah, he's a terrible piece of shit son.
but this show just sucks. The first episode of Raw Underground, this is like terrible, awful,
Horrific. Might be the worst fucking thing you ever watch. And apparently too, a lot of it like aired out of order. Like they spliced it up wrong. I don't know how the fuck you can do that.
Do you remember like one of the I don't even remember who it was, but like one of the Raw Under, because the match it wouldn't get like over until Shane said it was over. Do you remember like the guy was like tapping out for like a good minute, and then Shane just finally went, "Oh, it's done, it's done, it's over, it's over." Like the
Gonna be fucking have a brain hemorrhage soon, but that's fine.
Oh,
It's not over until say it's over.
remember like too because they got rid of it. Like, they had like the really weird like girls that would like dance like in Raw Underground and all that type of stuff. Oh, this Raw Underground, man, that's just
Horrendous.
Remember too, like it doesn't even happen like in the beginning of the show. It like happened like you like saw it happen in the middle, and then you have to be like, wait, what the hell was that?
Yes. Yeah, it was like at 10:00 or 9:00. It's like, hey, here's the debut of Raw Underground. It's like, oh, what the hell is this? And it's like, oh, this shit sucks.
And then they didn't even know, like the commentators like wouldn't even like bring it up ever. It, like happened like in its own like universe or whatever. It was so
Pretty much did.
oh so
It
bad.
pretty much did happen in its own universe.
Remember at the end, like the Hurt Business like take it over, then like nothing came of that type of thing.
Yeah, nothing came of it.
That's a really bad show. I don't even think I've even like. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's this show. Didn't like. I'm pretty sure like on maybe it's a different show. Like didn't Montez Ford get like poisoned on this show too? Like he like.
I think so too. Or was that later on?
I'm pretty sure it's this show. Like he like has a match with I think Andrade and Angel Garza, and then like he got poisoned like halfway like through the show.
That's terrible.
The show is terrible. Honestly, this show is awful.
I mean, the pandemic era is pretty fucking bad, and I suffered through all of it
but this was like.
until they got to the Thunderdome.
Yeah, because they hadn't gone to the Thunderdome yet. This was like right before that, I think. Oh yeah, they had like all the people like baited on the barricades or whatever, like pretending to be fans. We have
It was just talent.
yeah, we have another one right here. Kane's Unmasking show. What do you give this? Because you're scared of this.
Interesting show, huh? Go figure, right? Yeah, this show overall, I give it a thumbs up overall. It was Kane's idea to unmask in the first place. In the end, it was a massive mistake.
Yeah.
But man, younger me, holy shit. Not fun. Being not 8-year-old me was horrified.
Yeah.
I went on WWE.com the next day because I was like, oh, Kane's going to win. And no, Kane's going to win. They're not going to make him take his mask off. They're not going to do that. No, they wouldn't. Because at that time, I was in elementary school, so I went to bed at like 9:00, and I could barely even watch the beginning of Raw. It was like 9:30. I had to bargain for that, by the way, to be able to watch the first half hour of the fucking show.
And then why are you telling me what happened when you went on WWE.com the next day?
So, okay. In the morning, I was not allowed to, before school, go on the computer or whatnot because I had to get ready for school, eat breakfast, and go to school. So I rushed downstairs very early, woke up early that morning, and I went downstairs and I saw what was Kane's burnt fucking face on my computer screen. I never X'd out of a fucking website so fast in my entire fucking life. It was horrifying to little 8-year-old Christopher. Horrifying. Seeing that man's charred fucking face. And And then I went on it again the next year and thinking something would be different. And I saw Kane without his mask on again. And I immediately put my Game Boy up against the computer screen because it scared the ever-living shit out of me. Minus the burnt face, I might add. Regular Kane face. I was just terrified of his face at that point. But yeah, that was an interesting time in my life. Boy, was that fun.
Other things on the show are pretty good, though. We have, I'm pretty sure there's a tag match. It's like Randy Orton and Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels and... I'm trying to think who we were feuding with at this time. Because it was Shawn Michaels, and I think... it wouldn't have been Shelton because he wasn't on Raw. Because this is 03, so he wouldn't have been on Raw yet. I remember that's a really good tag match, just to point that out. But I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I remember the match with Triple H and Kane was really good, too. So this week...
I also, too, I liked the fake out. Like, when they did when RVD made the save, like, he was about to go do the arm thing, and then he didn't. Because it made it look like he wasn't going to unmask, and then he did.
So I'll give it a thumbs up. Then we have SummerSlam 2005. Really weird show. The good of this show is the really funny 30-second match where Chris Benoit beats Atlanta Jordan really quickly for the United States Championship. I like John Cena versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship. Batista versus JBL is kind of whatever for the world title. Depending on your enjoyment, I really like the Hulk Hogan Shawn Michaels match because it's just wicked funny to see Shawn Michaels just oversell everything because he's upset.
Literally everything.
Yeah, so that's really funny. The only bad matches on the show, I would say like Edge versus Matt Hardy from what that could have been because that should have been so much better. The Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero match too, and for the ladder match for the custody of Dominic, was awesome. So I'm gonna go thumbs up for SummerSlam 05. I like SummerSlam 05.
Yeah, I do like SummerSlam 05. Thumbs up.
Then we have the ECW Heatwave 98. Excellent show. This is Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow in the last man standing match where they go through like the ramp or whatever. The Dudleys have some type of match where like I'm pretty sure too they took out like New Jack and then New Jack comes in at like the end and like beats up everybody. Which is really because I heard that always happened with New Jack. He never actually. Did the guy ever? I don't think the guy actually like wrestled. I think he just came in at the end and
he would come out and for a save, and his music would play the entire time.
Yeah,
and even during matches too, he would come out and his theme song would play the entire time.
Then we have another Masato Tanaka versus Mike Awesome match is awesome, ironically enough. And then there's a really good ECW tag team title match. I think it's RVD and Sabu versus not Hakushi. What's his name? It's the guy that they brought in from Japan. He was in WWE and then he went to ECW and he teamed up with somebody else. I don't remember who he was, but and then. Yeah, just a really excellent show, this. ECW Heatwave 98. It's a really excellent pay-per-view. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It's a great show. It's the Tanaka versus Mike Awesome series they had was insane.
Then we have Raw from November 6, 2017. This is where Pete Dunne shows up for the first time. It squashes Enzo Amore, which was really funny. And then this is where SmackDown invaded. The New Day debuted and could screw over Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins out of the Raw tag titles and help the Bar win, which was pretty good. I like this Raw. I remember like the show because this was kind of around that time where you didn't really know when an invasion of SmackDown could happen because this is when the brand's like warfare actually like kind of meant something. So I'm gonna give this Raw a thumbs up. I remember it being really good at the time, and I still remember it being good.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up. It was a really good show.
Then we have NXT TakeOver London. Not one of the best takeovers, but a good one. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor is good for the NXT title. Bailey versus Nia Jax is good for what it is for the women's title. Asuka versus Emma was really solid. Enzo and Cass versus they weren't the Revival at the time. I think they were like the Mechanics at the time. That was good.
Mechanics.
Yeah, it was weird. And Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin was pretty solid on this show, so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I like this takeover. Not the best one. It's definitely one of the weaker ones, but it's still good.
Yeah, thumbs up. It was good. It was definitely good.
And then
takeovers are not usually bad.
Yeah, and then Wrestle Kingdom 12 is fantastic. One of the best wrestling cards I've ever seen put together. You have Jericho versus Omega, where Jericho went to Japan for the first time. Okada versus Naito is really good. The Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K is really good. There's a really good four-way match.
This is Jericho's like first fucking foray into New Japan since the fucking 90s.
You have a really good like junior heavyweight title match with Marty Scurll, Will Ospreay, Kushida, and I don't forget the other guy, but it was some other guy that was in the match. Just a really good top to bottom show. Like
Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah, Minoru Suzuki versus Hiroki Goto for the Never Openweight Championship, and the hair versus title match is excellent. I think it's Lance Archer and the Killer Elite Squad versus Evil and some other guy is really good too.
I have it up right now. It's
Evil. And...
It was Evil and Sonata versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer.
Yeah,
Jericho Omega. Okada versus Naito. That match was fucking insane.
Yeah. This is a massive.
Jay White faced Hashi?
Yeah, this was when Jay White was starting. This was right after Jay White went on excursion too, and he became the Switchblade. So, I think the show is excellent. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up too. I remember watching this thing too.
Yeah.
This was one of the last reigns, I think, for the Young Bucks in that junior heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Before they went to weight.
And then we have Full Gear 2020. Another good show this is. We have the Young Bucks versus FTO in an incredible tag title match. Omega versus Paige in the tournament that basically turns Omega heel, and Paige becomes the babyface and has to go on this recollection tour. Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley in the I Quit match. The Broken Hardy deletion match, or whatever it is, between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. And even Nyla Rose versus Shida is a good women's title match. I'm pretty sure there's an NWA women's title match that's really good on this show. I think it's like between Serena Deeb and Allison Kay, but I might be misremembering that. I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
This show in general, like, this is when AEW was really at their can't miss stage.
Yep. And then, unfortunately, we have to come back to reality a little bit and remember the bad shows, because we have Payback 2017. Not a great show right here. A lot of really weird booking decisions happen. Like, they had Kevin Owens lose the U.S. title for some reason just to drop it back to Jericho, like they're following SmackDown. The House of Horrors match is really bad. We reviewed the show in a weird time, I don't know if you remember, because we reviewed this show and then Bray Wyatt died I think 2 days later or something, or the next night, or that night, I think, actually, type of thing. And then there's some good things on the show. The Bar and the Hardys have a really good match, and that's when Jeff got his tooth kicked out, and that's when the Bar turned heel and actually became a really good tag team. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. I just remember more negative. I remember they had Bayley lose a title on her hometown, which really didn't make any sense, other than it was a hometown, so she was losing, because that was a big Vince then at the time. So I'm gonna say thumbs down. I remember there's more negativity on this show than positivity.
I'll give it a thumbs down too. It was bad.
Another great show right here, All Out. Really fantastic show. This was CM Punk's first wrestling match against Darby Allin. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage is awesome. And then this is when Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debut. The tag title cage match between the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks is really excellent. Eddie Kingston versus Miro for the TNT title is really good. And Jericho versus MJF is really good on this show. I remember a lot of people were mad that MJF lost, but like, you know, it ended up working out. That ended up working out. All Out's probably AEW's best pay-per-view. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's really like the best pay-per-view. It was when AEW was at like its hottest period.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up big time.
And then we have Elimination Chamber 2017. We did this in tribute to Bray Wyatt. I don't know what to say about the show because Bray Wyatt winning the title is awesome. The Chamber match is awesome. The match between Luke Harper and Randy Orton's really awesome that happened on the show. But everything else is kind of downhill. They had Naomi win the SmackDown Women's title in a really bad match for no reason. I don't know if you remember this match. This is when Dolph Ziggler had to face like two baby faces, Kalisto and Apollo Crews, like in a 2-on-1 handicap match, and like he like took out Kalisto, and then like then he like came back later and like won. It was like really weird and stupid. This is when Nikki Bella faced Natalya, and they stupidly had that match end in a double count out. This is when they had that like SmackDown. I think it's like, yeah, this is when they had the SmackDown tag team turmoil match where like the Ascension could have won the SmackDown tag titles, but then they just decided not to. I'm pretty sure it was this show. So I'm gonna say thumbs down. Unfortunately, I think there's more negativity to this show. This is when too like Mickie James faced Becky Lynch, and like they forgot Mickie James had like wrestled other places before WWE because that never happened. So I'm gonna say thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down.
And then we have the episode of TNA with the Main Event Mafia takeover. This show's awesome. I love it. It's not like a great wrestling show, but we got the debut of Black Snow. We got Chet Lemon being awesome. We got like just an excellent show here. I'm giving this a thumbs up. This show's awesome.
That was a great show. Thumbs up.
And then we have Bash at the Beach 2000. This is where Vince Russo does a shoot promo on Hulk Hogan. You have a really bad, like, cinematic match. I think it was, like, the Kiss Demon versus Vampiro. That was really bad. Booker T won the world title, which is awesome. It's just the way we got there wasn't great. So I'm going to give this a thumbs down. This show sucks.
Yes, thumbs down. Awful.
And then we have Halloween Havoc, 1995, where the Yeti debuts. This show sucks. You have like a really awful monster truck match between the Giant and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He wasn't even Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He was just dressed up in black and white for some reason, actually. This show sucks. I can't even think of a good thing about it. This show, I remember this is when like they had like that promo with like the Master, and he was so loud that like you could have your TV at one volume and like it'd just be loud. This show sucks.
Horrid.
Then we have WCW, Halloween Havoc 1998. This show also sucks. This has the awful Hogan Warrior match. Even though the match between DDP and Goldberg is really good, they fucking forgot to like tell like the pay-per-view providers that the show was gonna go longer. So like their match didn't happen, so they had to air the match for like free on Nitro like the next week. So it's like, yeah, that's what a great company you got to like forget about that type of thing.
Fucking great company. A+ company.
They had like Scott Hall versus Kevin Nash, where like Scott Hall pretended to be drunk the whole match, and then like Kevin Nash could have like won the match, and then he just left. He just went home. He just lost by countout. Didn't really make.
Fucking I quit.
The biggest to do, I think it was Buff Bagwell. He like teamed up with like the Giant or whatever. He like acted like he was gonna be like on Rick Steiner's side, I think it was, but then like he like flip flopped and like turned heel like midway through the match, and it was so bad. This show sucks. This show's a thumbs down.
Down.
Then we have Armageddon 2007. This was a good show. You have the really good triple threat match with Edge, Undertaker, and Batista. Where Edge, this is the debut of the Edgeheads, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. You have a good Jeff Hardy Triple H #1 contenders match. A good U.S. title match that stupidly ends by countouts. Jericho versus Orton's good. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I like this show.
Yeah, I like it. Thumbs up.
Then we have the CM Punk's last SmackDown before he came back. This is not a good show. This has like the Real Americans versus like Rey Mysterio and Big Show where they job them out. This is where like the Miz faced like Brodus Clay and like Ray Bailey just shat on the whole match like on his like podium and like the Miz tried to tip him over or whatever. I think Los Matadors faced like 3MB or something. That's like this is just not a good show. This is thumbs down.
Down.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2020. Excellent show. The men's and women's Rumble match are really good. The Falls Count Anywhere match between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns is good. The strap match with The Fiend and Daniel Bryan is good. The only bad thing on the show is Bayley versus Lacey Evans for the SmackDown Women's Championship because we had to pretend Lacey Evans was a good babyface. But so I'm gonna give.
Yeah.
But I'm giving this a thumbs up. Still, it's still really good.
Thumbs up.
Then we have Royal Rumble 2017. I'm probably going to go thumbs down. Not really that memorable of a show. They had, like, the Bar lose the tag titles to Gallows and Anderson with, like, 2 referees, and it was, like, really stupid. The men's Rumble match wasn't that great. They had Randy Orton, like, win it. This is when the WWE pulled that troll and had Roman Reigns be, like, number 30, thinking it was going to be, like, someone big, and the WWE just trolled us. Reigns to Jericho's good, just the finish is really weird. I love Cena Styles for the title's awesome, but I'm gonna give him thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down.
I feel like too because then like they had a plan for Mania and Vince basically changed those plans like right afterwards and everything like that. And then we have Mania 17. We'll end it off with that because the last 2 shows, like Mike did, so we won't end it with those. I like Mania 17, like we said before. Really excellent Mania from top to bottom. Taker versus Triple H, TLC 2. Jericho, William Regal. Just a really excellent Mania. The only mistake they make is the Austin heel turn. Other than that, it'd be a top Mania, but I'm still going to go thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And that's all of them. I didn't expect we'd be doing this long. I thought this would be quick, but
Yeah, it wasn't. That was long as fuck.
whatever. You know, we got a video out of it. Anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here?
No, I don't have anything.
So, I guarantee you our minds are probably going to change by the end of this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe this will motivate us to do more retros next year, and we can do this list again. But that's pretty much it, guys.
It could motivate.
We will talk to you guys later.